Okay, my fellow Ambazonians, again, once more, I'm taking you now to one of the conference rooms that we have around the Ambas Heritage Foundation office. This is one of the conference rooms that we have. We could use this anytime to do Ambazonian business. Seated here already is 3 members of the founding block of the AMHEC, we'll call it that way. I have Mr. Malex.
Yeah, I'm Sonny Malex, actually I'm all the way from Boston.
Welcome.
That's how serious I take this. And I'm here to represent myself because I'm passionate about this revolution and also representing my people out of Boston. So I hope they see this and take it seriously and come on board because we have to get it right this time.
Amen. Okay. And next to him is Mr. Dennis Lehman.
Thank you guys for coming. So I'm Dennis Lehman. I'm actually the host. I live in Ohio, and I'm here to offer my services to Ambazonians. And I'm welcoming each and every one of you guys to come meet us as we build Ambazonia together. Thank you.
And of course, Mr. Edwin Gang.
I am Edwin Gang. I'm from Minneapolis, Minnesota, and I'm here to work with everybody in the Ambazonian Revolution to see that the Ambas Bay Heritage and Economic Center projects our peaceful permanent solution. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, guys.
Oh, thank you.
So just gonna have a short, brief talk about the program AMHEC, and I'll just dive into a few questions. And I'll start with you, Mr. Dennis. Why Ambas Bay?
So while brainstorming over our revolution, we decided that we cannot define our history based on our enemies' perception of us. Before the colonial Europeans came to Africa, our parents had long lived there, our grandparents, and that area was referred to as the Ambas Bay. So we thought it wise that for us to establish our identity the way our ancestors would have wanted us to do, it is better we go to the pre-colonial name. So we call this center the Ambas Bay Heritage and Economic Center. We call it heritage because we want to remind ourselves of the heritage, and we also want to build an economic independence amongst ourselves in the diaspora and make sure that our children get to live in a free and prosperous Ambazonia. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Can you tell us a brief, background on how you think Ambas Bay unifies Ambazonia as a territory?
Yes, I think this is overdue. The Ambazonians have always been united. That is the problem. What has happened over the years is that we have been disorganized because we are not in the physical location. We are over the internet, and the fact that we exchange words, people might take it to mean we are disunited. We are not. So Skakuf enterprise, which we all came together to show how united we were, had this mandate to start a secretariat. That was the goal of Skakuf. But unfortunately for us, it went down south really quick, and things went the way they were, but we cannot go back blaming each other. We live in the moment, so now is the time for us to come back together and get this united platform where we can face the world together, send out a united message to the world on what we want, and we want self-determination. So AMHEC will be that rallying point for all Ambazonian groups, individuals to come in, be able to work, write their representatives in their host countries, and we can be able to build that foundation now in a physical address, no longer on Facebook. They make fun of us that we are the internet revolution. We have to stop that.
Yeah. So Ambas Bay, just like the rivers of Ambazonia, empty most of their banks in the Ambas Bay. So that's how it's gonna unite us. So I think, and so Mr. Malex, what makes you so excited about AMHEC?
Yeah, I'm very excited to be part of this project. It's been a long month planning this and working to make this happen. And I want to start by thanking my brother here, Mr. Dennis Lehman, for sharing the vision with me and educating me about it, why it was necessary. Then together with my senior comrade, Mr. Edwin Gang, that will be working together on Facebook and WhatsApp. And when he told me about this, I thought this would be good for the revolution, because if you look at the Jewish people, the Armenian people, the Eurasian, the Ethiopian, they all have their heritage centers around the world. That's how they'll be able to gather their people together to fight for their independence, to preserve their identity. So it's only natural that this is a step that was missed at the beginning of this revolution, that we should be united by our suffering and struggle. And through these centers, our people will meet wherever they live, because this is one of many centers that's going to be opening around the world. And groups, faction can meet in these centers. We have conference room to talk to our people, to educate our people about our struggle, so they can become masters of their destiny. And through that, we can move faster to that dream to have a free southern Cameroon, now called Ambazonia, that we all want so bad. So you can hear I'm overwhelmed that this finally happened. I've been looking forward to this. That's why I had to travel all the way from Boston to be here to join you people.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Ambazonia is pleased.
Thank you.
Yeah. So our next person to tell us a little bit about AMHEC and how excited he is. I know it's been a long time coming for you, because this is one of the veterans of the Ambazonian struggle. Mr. Edwin Gang.
I'm always happy when we make progress towards identifying with what would be considered as the solution, because what is our solution? Restoring of our sovereignty. And that is such an important element in the AMHEC program, because people tend to mistake our objectives as governments or as looking for independence out of a country. No, we have our entitlement to our sovereignty, and Ambazonians through the AMHEC programs, which has an element of continuing education, will see to it that everybody understands that the right to our sovereignty is inalienable, immutable, and indestructible. And because of that, we are already entitled to just telling the world, give us back, assist us to get back our sovereignty, which Cameroon now is subjugating. The language of our revolution will have to change. We will no longer be played around by, quote unquote, the conspiracy of people who do not have our interests. And there are many of them, including our own very own brothers who do not see the vision of the greater good. And Ambazonians, please understand that AMHEC is not a group. AMHEC is a secretariat that is for everybody, even though you may be slightly at odds with us in ideology. Just remember that if you take some pause for a moment and look at the facts, you agree that there's nothing wrong in promoting a peaceful, permanent solution, which is based on our facts. There's nothing invented here. And one of the greatest tasks of AMHEC will be to make sure that everybody, Ambazonians, friends of Ambazonians, and what I like to call sympathizers of the Ambazonian struggle, to us to understand that there is really a solution that could stop the war today, and also at the same time have a permanent problem where these two people who are naturally distinctive by nature of our original history should no longer be fighting and killing themselves, but to live in peace. The Republic of Cameroon will be on the sides, the Republic of Ambazonia will be on in the west of it, and these two people will still have a normal coexistence, just like what happened in Europe when the Berlin Wall broke. That is what is going to happen when we promote a peaceful permanent solution.
Yeah. And I think, yeah, peaceful, he said something that I would like to chime in on. The peaceful here really just means that at the end of the day, Ambazonians and Cameroonians are going to live as neighbors, and there has to be peace. So there's no, if we can't start finding that peace now, we would never exist, as a people. If we in Ambazonia are not peaceful, like Labori is not peaceful, we are not peaceful. And so on the point of sovereignty, maybe I can try to break that down a little bit. The sovereignty of Ambazonia some rest with the people of Ambazonia now. And so AMHEC, our goal is really to get, the international bodies or get ourselves to first of all recognize that the sovereignty rests in our hands, the sovereignty rests in your hands, and we want to get to a place where we exercise that sovereignty and then get functionable institutions to run the state of Ambazonia. And so this is one of the goals that AMHEC seeks to accomplish. But there's going to be more on AMHEC and what AMHEC is going to be doing moving forward, I think, during the webinar tomorrow.
You notice that the stress is on sovereignty, so that Ambazonians for a change will start understanding that you have to have control of sovereignty before you can even exercise the management of the institutions, or call it the organs that manage that expression of sovereignty, which is a country, a monarchy, or whatever form of governance that you develop. We seem to have slipped ahead of ourselves and be stressing government when we don't have no control of our sovereignty. Through the AMHEC centers, which is globally going to be promoted, people will get to know that this is indeed the easiest cause of self-determination in the world, because the self-determination has already been manifested through the constitutional evolution of the people. We have already self-determined at all the stages when we articulated our rights to implement Article 6b. So we are not going to be doing any self-determination outside the parameters of the law. That is a very important element which AMHEC is going to project out there, so that nobody thinks that we are violating the territorial integrity of another country.
Okay, yeah, talking about territorial integrity, I think Ambazonians, we have to get familiar in dealing with formalities. We were raised in a very informal culture, so that is why it is easy for us to, make our janky groups, make our small tontins, and then we give it whatever name we want. So what AMHEC has come to do is to bring sanity and to make the world know that Ambazonians really don't want war. We want a peaceful solution to this problem. So, and Ambazonians are called to play an active role. And how can you play an active role in bringing peace? The most active role you can play is going back to the law, understanding your constitution, understanding your birthrights. What birthright do we have as a people to exist? What birthrights do we have to govern ourselves? Is it something we are asking from La République? No. We are not asking it from La République. We were born with those inalienable rights to self-determination. And the problem has always been on how we articulate these rights. And the Constitution of 1961, which is, by the way, the only legitimate constitution we have, because it is the constitution that binded the two countries together. So the constitution clearly states that the sovereignty of our people, that is our right to exist as an independent people, that is what sovereignty means. Sovereignty means that you are a prince. You have the right to exist as an independent people. So the sovereignty of Ambazonia lies in the hands of Ambazonians exclusively. And now that sovereignty can be expressed in two simple ways, either via deputies that we have democratically elected and given them the legitimacy to represent us in all matters, including governance, international relations, legislature. So that is the first part. Then the second part is Ambazonians can exercise that sovereignty directly via a vote. It is called a referendum. So that is why AMHEC has as mandate to educate our people, teach them that this sovereignty which we have can be exercised by them directly. The reason that our people have this burden to exercise their mandate directly is because in 1972, when Ahijo terminated the federal assemblies, the mandate of the people that Ambazonians gave them the legitimate to represent us was terminated. Now, it means that any individual or groups of individuals going out there to speak on behalf of Ambazonia are illegitimate because they were not voted. So now it is upon Ambazonians to go out there, cast their votes, and determine their right to self-determination. And that is one of the pillars of AMHEC that we'll be teaching and making our people to understand that no, calling for a referendum doesn't mean that you don't want independence, no. It doesn't mean that you hate the republic. That is the way we used to join it. And we have the right, we have reserved that right. It is a human right for us to vote each time we feel that the union is not working as it should. So I want our people to be encouraged and know that a solution is at hand. We have been fighting for over 6 years. We have lost a lot of children. Families have been displaced. People are suffering in misery. Our parents are in the bushes. There are women who are suffering, grandmothers. So we are hoping that with AMHEC, we will be able to go to the root cause of this problem, bring a peaceful, permanent solution to our people, which will be acceptable by our people, our neighbors, and the international community.
So I think that should bring us to to the close of this short program this evening, just introducing the office and the good that is going to come out of it. And then tomorrow is the big day when we launch it and talk to Ambazonians at large.
Before you go, let me thank you for coming all the way from Houston.
Thank you.
Everywhere Texas.
Everywhere where I am.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you guys. Thank you all for coming.
You
came
guys
from
are welcome
Boston
to
and
welcome to my town. Welcome to Cleveland.
This is my first time
thank you for
77.
the host. Yeah.
I've always seen it.
Okay.
Toledo was my closest.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Alright, guys.
Thanks for
Gracias.
coming. We'll be making our first.
Can we
Close
hug
the door.
each
Our
other?
first AMHEC
Please close the door.
Are we close?
in Houston.
Oh, sure. Can we hug each
Yeah.
other?
And the first AMHEC education
first-
campaign will be Houston.
I'm campaigning for Ohio.
The outreach campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The outreach campaign.
Because that
So
is
after
exactly-
hosting the first one, you still want to host the second and the third.
I can host it till the end of the world. I'll never be tired.
No, we
Okay.
want to go out.
So if you
Reaching
challenge
out.
it to Houston, I might just take the challenge.
I'm the errand guy, just call me anywhere. I'll support whatever you want to do.
We do
Thank
Houston,
you, guys.
we do Boston, we do Minnesota. Of course, what you
Build this land of glory, we the Ambazonians, pledge our loyalty. Praises to our Savior who granted us the freedom, and legends to the hero who called the lonely gather. Glory to glory, we rise and never to fall. Here in a nation, flowing rivers and holy. Glory, glory, glory to the Father for making you a nation, a joy forevermore. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meet in our need. And your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God being the watchman of this nation. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meet in our need. And your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God be